Wizards Postgame Live.
All love from the family in the NBA. That's what it's all about. Kyle Kuzma and crew putting in some work tonight. Unable, though, to get it on the winning side of the score. Final score is 112-100 from Capital One Arena as your Washington Wizards prepare to head out for an extended road trip on the West Coast. Welcome to Postgame Live. Wes Hall here with Jason Smith. We will be joined by Chris Miller and Drew Gooden along with Megan McPeak here in a moment. But you already know where I'm going to start. What did you see from this game? And more importantly, how do they try to right this ship before they head out on the West Coast?
Well, what I saw was really a little bit too much KD and Kyrie. They got the party started, and they really went out there and finished the job towards the end of the game. A little bit too much fouling on shots and going out there. I think every statistical category, they just did not win. They were close, but just no cigar, and I think that's just kind of the story of the game. The turnovers really hurt the Wizards, but overall, if you look at the positives, Will Barton came out and showed up. Yeah. He played very, very well. He had 22 points off the bench. He got it started. He was feeling great. He was letting his shot fly, and he was playing with a lot of confidence. I want to see more of that, take that on the road with him, and I want to see him have some success. The thing that I am concerned about, though, Porzingis, back tightness, he left the game. That's something that you really, really want to monitor. I had preached in the pregame saying that he has been healthy. I hope I didn't jinx him.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that because that is something that we obviously will be monitoring. So whatever the status of Kristaps Porzingis, you'll find it on NBCSportsWashington.com. But you talk about Will Barton. Megan alluded to this during the game. We've wanted to see Will Barton get his groove going. 22 points tonight, 7 boards, 7 assists. He led the Wizards in scoring tonight. Now, obviously, Porzingis went down earlier in the night, but let's give Will Barton his flowers tonight. You saw him being wise with the ball, judicious with his three-point shooting, 4 for 8 from deep. So it's not just putting the ball through the hole, but being able to shoot the way that he wants to.
Yeah, and I really wanted to see him go out there and do this consistently from the jump of the season, but for him to go out there, he hadn't played in the last 2 games, DNPs. For him, I think that might have put a little chip on the shoulder. He had a little bit of extra motivation, but also he was more focused to go out there and be aggressive on the offensive end. And with all the injuries that the Wizards have, he had his opportunity tonight against a really, really good Brooklyn team.
How much does this feed him in regard to momentum, as we know that Wednesday's game is against the team that he used to play for and still holds a franchise record in three-pointers made? How much is this of a confidence boost?
Oh, absolutely. You want to go out there having a little bit more of a momentum, because if he came out and he didn't have any playing time whatsoever, and then going out to the Nuggets where he used to play for 8 seasons, that could be a scenario for bad. But now that he's gotten a 22-point game under his belt, going back home where he was comfortable playing for a long time, franchise leader in three-point baskets, this is going to be an opportunity for him to go out there and show out.
Indeed. I'm sorry that it was in a loss, but I'm glad at his performance. Right. That momentum is definitely going to help carry weight. I want to bring in Chris Miller and Drew Gooden again, as I mentioned, coming into the postgame. Guys, again, great call as always, but I want to get down to what went wrong tonight. As Stick said, this was not a game of big things making a difference. It was the paper cuts, the small things along the way that added up to being insurmountable. Was it not true, Drew?
I just think just not a steady enough diet offensively. It was just real all over the place, helter-skelter, I would call it, and Jekyll and Hyde. You didn't know who to go to offensively. Kyle Kuzma didn't have his best offensive game, but I thought Porzingis had it going until he left with back tightness. And then when he left, you needed scoring. Will Barton did as much as he can do, but other than that, besides those 3 guys and Jordan Goodwin, nobody else stepped up in the offensive department.
You can't turn the ball over 20 times, guys, especially against this Brooklyn Nets team that's whole again. They're one of the hottest teams in the league, and I just go back to what we said in the pregame show. The little things matter. And turning the basketball over, organization, I just thought the Wizards were not organized offensively really tonight, and it led to a lot of these turnovers. And we give Will Barton credit. The Wizards needed somebody off the bench to give them a spark. I mean, how long can we just lean on Kuzma and Porzingis? I understand the Wizards are shorthanded, but the reality is Wes has said it, you've said it, I've said it, you guys have said it. Nobody's going to feel sorry for this team. And this 6-game road trip, these are some tough teams. And going to Denver, taking on Nikola Jokic, and I'm glad Barton, like you said, Jason, I agree with you. I think this was really good for him to get on the plane and go to Ball Arena and compete, hopefully, at a high level against his former team. But man, the struggles continue for this team. But again, nobody's going to feel sorry for them.
Guys, can we add this other department to it, too? And I know we've talked about it in previous games, but I'm looking at this box score, and I'm seeing the free throws for both teams. Brooklyn did their job hitting 89% of theirs, but Washington left 7 free throws there available to be taken, shooting 68% from the charity stripe. Drew, as we've all mentioned before, you can't leave those out there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of losses this season came from the three-point line, inability to knock down shots, especially at the right time, and then leaving a lot of free money at the foul line. And tonight, I don't think it's going to be too many games this season where you're going to have Kyle Kuzma going 0 for 4 from the free throw line. He was just a little out of sync offensively tonight. It's just right now, you can see they're definitely missing Brad. Definitely be on high alert on what's going on with the status of Porzingis before you head out west, because as you know, you're going to have to score the ball when you get out on that West Coast trip, because if you haven't seen the finals out of those Western Conference games as of late, I mean, these are in the high hundreds. So you are going to have to be ready to put the ball in the hole and need guys that are willing to do that.
You got to take care of the ball, guys. I can't preface this enough. You see it when the Wizards weren't organized. It just led to a bad turnover, and then guess what happened? Brooklyn went right down on the other end of the floor to score. So when you're shorthanded, the last thing you can do is turn it over.
Now, guys, we know that we will be monitoring the Kristaps Porzingis back tightness situation as we move forward. We already know we're Brad on a back-to-back, day-to-day type situation. Sticks, my question to you is this. Is it now Kyle Kuzma that's really got to find a way to be the tip of the spear, per se, as this trip moves ahead out west?
No, absolutely. I think it's Kyle Kuzma, and he's actually begged to have the offense run through him on multiple occasions, but also having a game from Will Barton, it only catapults him to have more success. He feels a little bit more comfortable out there. A lot of people are out due to injury, so go out there and play freely. You're going back to your former team, and go out there and get the job done. You're playing in Denver, a place that you were super comfortable playing at, but also relay the information to the other guys on the team, the younger guys that are getting opportunities. This West Coast trip is going to be no joke. It's going to be difficult to score, and it's going to be against teams that you wouldn't typically think are good. Sacramento Kings, they're playing lights out right now. Utah Jazz was supposed to be tanking. Guess what? They're in the upper echelon of the Western Conference. So this isn't the teams that you're like, oh, man, this West Coast trip's going to be cake. No, sir. By the way, you're not doing so well right now. You got to right the ship. Individually, you got to collectively say, I'm going to guard my man one-on-one. I'm going to go out there and do everything I can and leave it out there on the floor.
They've got to do whatever they got to do to get back in the win column. Chris and Drew, I appreciate you as always. Megan McPeak joining us here now. Megan, the same question goes to you as we've spoken about earlier with everyone else. Something that the Wizards can find a way to improve on as they head out on the West Coast for this big West road trip.
I think the biggest one, and I opened the game with it, was attention to details, and Chris and Drew talked about it. Can't turn the ball over. That's going to be key and imperative when you're going on a West Coast road trip, especially with your first game going against a very, very strong and powerful Denver Nuggets team. They like to turn teams over. They like to capitalize off of those turnovers as well too. So the more you can preserve the possession, take care of the ball, pay attention to details, I think is going to bode well for them on the road. But that's the biggest thing, is attention to details at the end of quarters.
And it's so interesting too, because coming into tonight's game, you look at the Wizards, they ranked 5th in averaging 15.6 opponents' points off turnovers per game. As to Megan's point, we've got to find a way to slow down the opponent's ability to score, especially in transition and off turnovers. And regardless of which guard's playing, Jason, how do we make that happen? Because you had no Monte Morris tonight. Jordan Goodwin's inserted in starting lineup. But you're going to need everybody as we head out west.
Well, now with Monte Morris, he's a product of efficiency. He gets the job done, and he goes out there and he does everything efficiently. He doesn't turn the ball over. He makes sure that he gets everybody in the right places. And that's no knock against Jordan Goodwin. He did a phenomenal job. He was pressuring on defense. He was playing hard tonight, diving on the floor for 50-50 ball. I think that the opportunity for the Wizards moving forward is going out on the West Coast trip, play freely. There's nothing to lose. You're already going through a losing streak right now. Go out there and individually look yourself in the mirror and try and get the job done defensively first and foremost. Get the game started on a defensive note, and then let your offense trickle in after that. Because if you want to keep an eye on Porzingis, but also Kuzma, got to make sure that he's going. He had a struggle tonight, but with all the injuries that they have with Brad and possibly Porzingis, there's more opportunity for Will Barton. There's more opportunity for other guys coming back off of injury. You'd love to see Rui back out there. This is going to be an interesting West Coast road trip, but you have to go out there and take it one game at a time.
Megan, as I'm looking at some of the stats that we love to have around here, 24% of the Wizards' scoring is done from behind the arc on the road, whereas at home, it's 35%. How do they close that 11% gap as they head out west when it comes to shooting threes?
That's the interesting thing. And when you also take into account Corey Kispert is unfortunately struggling right now shooting the ball. He had a couple drop tonight, but on a consistent basis, that's the unfortunate thing, is he is still dealing with this up and down scoring situation when it comes to his shot falling from beyond the arc. So I imagine when it comes to the road number being 11% lower, a lot of that could contribute to the fact that you've got guys that are unfortunately dealing with slumps while you're also, as Sticks just pointed out, dealing with, this little bit of a losing streak. I have confidence that the ball is going to fall, especially when it comes to Corey Kispert. He is the type of player that is continuing to be confident. He's continuing to shoot the ball, and that's probably the biggest thing for a shooter. And Sticks knows this. When you're a shooter and you're dealing with a struggling slump and the shot's not falling, the worst thing you can do is stop shooting the ball. The fact that he continues to still shoot the ball, even though it's not going in as consistently as we are used to seeing it for him, that says a lot about his confidence and what he says as a player on this team, and his teammates as well too, that are still giving him the ball.
I know a guy we're going to have to focus on due to Porzingis' situation as it is right now being in flux is Daniel Gafford. Now, he came in tonight, gave you 10 points and 10 boards, gave you another double-double. Perfect from the field. He only missed a couple of free throws. How much heavier is that load going to be on him, Sticks, depending on what we know about Porzingis on Wednesday's availability?
Well, he's going to have more minutes handed to him, but also you want to make sure that you're playing him the right way. You don't want to put him in situations where he's going out there against smaller lineups. But he had a double-double off the bench. He was productive. He was active. He was making sure that he was staying out of foul trouble. And I think that's the biggest key, is that when he gets inserted into the starting lineup, if Porzingis can't go, stay out of foul trouble. You stay out of foul trouble, that'll keep you on the floor. It is very difficult to guard Daniel Gafford as a whole. His pick and roll presence out there, you can throw the lob to him. Plus, if the defense collapses on his pick and roll activity, you have three-point shooters waiting in the corner with Corey Kispert. You got a Will Barton out there who's shooting with confidence now. So things are starting to click. As injuries mount up, you got other people starting to step up. You got to go out there and do your job, because this West Coast road trip, nobody's going to feel sorry for you.
Megan, Jason brought up a really cool point earlier about the fact that Will Barton's going to be heading back to Denver, where he spent a considerable amount of time. And as we talk about the Wizards shooting at home versus on road, well, Will Barton has the ability to kind of feel a little more familiar in Denver. Is this a possibility for him to possibly come close to repeating his performance tonight on Wednesday?
I would also even throw in Monte Morris into that conversation as well too. Even though he's right now at least dealing with the injury and not playing the last couple of games, it's the fact that they're both very familiar with that arena. They're both very familiar with playing in the altitude on a consistent basis. So I think that this, as Drew said, this game was great timing for Will Barton to have that Will Barton type of game that we have been wondering when it was going to happen. And I had talked to him a few games ago, as I said, on broadcast, and I asked him, how do you continue to play with confidence and continue to go out there on a nightly basis, on a daily basis, practices, shoot-arounds, even though the shot just isn't falling, even though you're not playing the way that you want to play? Because at the end of the day, we can want him to play one way, the staff can want him to play one way, the fans can want him to play one way, but at the end of the day, he wants to play a certain way as well too. And he was not playing up to his standard, and that's the standard that truly matters. Tonight we saw that standard met, and we saw the bar raised. So I think this was perfect timing, knowing that he's going back home to his second home, if you will, in Denver.
I appreciate the fact that a little bit of confidence goes a long way. Megan, do not move. Later on the other side, we're actually going to hear from head coach Wes Unseld Jr. in the post-game locker room. But right now, I want to give people a bit of a sneak peek. We promised Denny Avdia mic'd up during his pregame ritual. Here's a little bit of what's to come.
Big game today. Big game today. We're going to have a great game today. That's cash. In your face. There you go, Pat. I'm not missing without you. Good, good, good. Same thing. Perfect. Last one, last one.
I believe I can be good in this league. I believe I have the talent.
Hey, watch it, I'm coming through.
And in the future, do great stuff with the Wizards.
Whoa.
Welcome back to Wizards Post Game Live. We are taking a look ahead at the road ahead to the Wizards' next 6 games on the West Coast, starting Wednesday night in Denver, Saturday against the Clippers, Sunday the Lakers, followed by Phoenix, Utah, and Sacramento. Jason Smith, I'm bringing back Megan McPeak with this question as well, but I want to start with you. What's the most philosophically appropriate way to take on that 6-game road trip?
Well, it's a daunting task, but Megan, you know as well as I know, one game at a time. You're only going to break it one game at a time. You can't focus on LA when you got the Nuggets next game, and you can't focus on the Clippers, and you can't focus on anybody else. Go out there and take it one game, one quarter at a time. Try and execute your offense. Try and execute your defense. If you have success with that, repeat. Repeat. 4 quarters equals a game, then one more game, and go out there. On the West Coast, it could be difficult because you got to deal with time changes. You got to deal with the elevation up in Denver. But these are very, very good teams. You go out to the West, they are winning teams, and they're pretty much all playoff teams. Right now, if the season were to stop, those teams on that list are all in the playoff hunt. So you got a tough task ahead of you, but one game at a time is how you go about it.
Megan, to his point, he talks about different cities, different times. When I'm looking at the schedule, I know there's one game in particular that's a wrinkle in the schedule, and that's against the Clippers at 4 o'clock. Is there going to be, it just feels like that's a really weird time to watch a basketball game. We're going to be here for pregame live and postgame live. But talk to me about the time difference and any adjustments they might have to make for that night in particular.
So it's what, 4 o'clock Eastern, which means it's what, like 1 o'clock Western,
That's correct.
Pacific,
1
if you
o'clock
will.
PST, yeah.
So, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the NBA Christmas Day schedule where games start at noon and you've got some West Coast games going earlier than normal. But when you think of the fact that this is a West Coast trip, you're going to be within 2-3 hours of the time being the same at all times throughout the entirety of the trip. Obviously, you've got some in the Pacific, some in Central, so it give or take. But I think what Stick said is accurate, 1,000%. Do not look ahead a game. Focus on the game that you have and the team that you have and take it 1 quarter at a time. Wash, rinse, repeat, and just do that. You can have success. Find little successes on this road trip. Win the first quarter. Win the second quarter. Do the little things and pay attention to the details, and you can have success and you can find success.
Hey, and Megan,
you can't do anything about
game in Denver a 1 o'clock game? I don't think it's a 1 o'clock game. So I think Wes is looking a little too far in the future.
Oh,
a little too ahead.
One game at a time, Wes.
You know what?
In all honesty, this is the thing. These guys are professionals. With the exception of rookies, these guys have all played in elevation before. They've played in different time zones. So you cannot use that as an excuse, and I know they're not going to use that as an excuse. So just focus on 48 minutes at a time in one city against one team and do it that way.
Do you see what she's saying?
Yes.
Take a page from Megan, man.
So y'all saying worry about the next 48. Well, how about we take a brief pause and listen to head coach Wes Angel Jr. explain the previous 48 minutes.
We're short on bodies. That doesn't help. The turnovers were a huge piece of that. Obviously we had a decent rhythm in the first half. KP only plays 9 minutes in that second half. Really, it becomes really tough.
What was the common thread with the turnovers?
I think at times guys try and do too much, make things happen on their own. It's tough for switches. You have to make quicker decisions. It's not necessarily what you're running, it's how you run it. And, just reading how they're guarding it, slipping and get below coverage. Sometimes they hold on to it too long. And that's an aggressive defense. They're a solid defensive team.
What's the concern level with Porzingis?
Back tightness, day-to-day, I suppose.
And, it's 7 in a run out. You guys had a strong start last year. It kind of went by the wayside. Is there any worry that seeps back into, how do you guys keep guys?
I think it's a different group. I mean, of course, we're going through it, so you got to keep guys positive. You still got to coach, hold guys accountable. But we're light on bodies, and it's tough when you got a handful of your rotation players. I'm hoping at some point, in a weird way, this helps us. These young guys who haven't gotten a ton of opportunity get to play. Down the line, hopefully that helps us.
Wes, was the back time something KP has been dealing with and just flares up? I saw him with the wrap, I think, even before he left for the locker room.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until the game.
And then who speaks up? And if it was you after this one, are you trying to rile guys up, or is it, we can't make those turnover mistakes? What's the message?
Well, it's I think it's more encouraging right now than anything. We'll still show the film and show the mistakes. And you could teach that way. We're not going to be able to do a ton on the floor just with, how short we are in bodies. But, it's that fine line. You want to keep guys encouraged, but at the same time, we minimize some of these mistakes, the turnout could be different.
To that point, what's practice look like these days with new bodies and you're trying to ramp different guys up?
Yeah, it's not a ton of live stuff. So, that's not tipping in our favor either. But we use film, walkthroughs, small-sided segments where we can do some things, but there are not a whole lot of teams that are, full-blown practicing right now.
How likely is your team to get some of the injured players back as early as the Denver game?
Not exactly sure, to be honest with you.
Apart from that, is there anything the team can do to snap out of this?
Yeah, I mean, there's, we can minimize some of the mistakes that were made. Reduce the number of turnovers, certain areas that, have nothing to do with who's out there. But it's tough when, you don't have a lot of firepower.
Obviously, Will was doing well tonight. I guess what were other common threads where Denny was maybe not giving you what you were looking for?
Well, I think the fouls, got him sideways. Those are two really good offensive weapons. And it's tough to guard those guys without fouling. We fouled jump shooters 5 times tonight. So, minimizing those. Of course, they're going to make tough shots, and we got to be okay with that. You can defend it as well as you want. Katie's a really good player. So don't complicate it by fouling a guy like that and putting yourself at a deficit.
What do you think was working for Will tonight?
His aggression. I thought he was aggressive in pick and rolls. Tried to play downhill early. He makes a couple threes, and I think that loosens things up for him.
You kind of touched on it, Coach, but to shake a spell like this, what does it take? A loose ball. Just what type of game changer thing can this team do to kind of just snap out of the funk?
Well, it's those type plays. I thought Goody had a handful of them. We got to make some plays on both ends of the floor. Minimize those stretches and lulls where we struggle defensively. Minimize where we go without scoring. Find a balance of that. Cut down on some of the tactical issues or lack of communication. Finish possessions with rebounds. Don't turn the ball over. So it's a myriad of things. It's not one thing to just say, okay, this will change our luck. But we have to control our own. We can control our own purpose, our energy, our level of communication. I think our guys are playing hard, and it's tough when you outmanned at times, but it's not for the lack of effort.
Despite the loss, can you see anything tonight that you saw? Maybe you can pull up on film and say, hey, this is what we need to do more of?
Well, I thought, some of the hustle plays we made. Gaff, Jay Good, I think Denny at times, several guys made plays that, if we do this more often, may tip the scale in our favor.
And last one for you, we saw a lot of playmaking from Will, looked a little bit comfortable. What type of rhythm did you see, especially in that second and third quarter where he was facilitating on the boards?
Well, that reminds me of, the guy I had in Denver. We need more of it.
Head coach Wes Unseld Jr. in the post-game podium. One of the guys that you heard him mention was Denny Avdia, 8 points tonight, 7 boards. The third-year player making some strides. And, of course, if you've watched him play the game, he is his own worst critic, but he wants to grow and get better. We had an opportunity earlier in the season to have Denny mic'd up during his pregame routine. I think you're going to enjoy this.
I just don't overthink it in a game day, like I treat it like, okay, I got a game, I got to focus, but like, I'm not stressed it too much, like I know my job, I know what I need to do.
Big game today, big game today. We're gonna have a great game today. That's cash, in your face. There you go, Pat. I'm not missing without you. Gotta love the young fans. Bucket.
Nice, there we go. Perfect, there you go, same thing. Nice, nice, nice. Good, same thing. Perfect, last one.
Oh.
Denny loves working, wants to be great. So every day he's showing up with a ton of energy. So it's on me to match it every day. So it's a blast,
That's all I need.
We've been working out for 2 years now. He's done a great job. You know me. You know how my mental stuff is really important for the game, and you know how to get me going.
Yeah, Pat.
He's having, a really good stretch. Try to stay consistent, keep him in that flow. But if he starts, it's a long season. So if he starts to have any dip in maybe his shooting or his handle, I might specify certain parts of it, the warm up to touch up areas that he needs more work in.
And having a routine, I think it's a big thing for a young player, is having a routine, building the right habits, and also understanding the why. Why are you doing those things? What are the situations that come about when you'll get those shots, when you'll use those moves, situations that, come about for him as a player? I think just telling them to do it is a part of it, but also getting them to understand the why part of it. I think Denny is open-minded about all of it, which is great as a player and somebody for us to work with.
I actually waited to see this film, to be honest with you. I felt like there was a lot of, no, not excited, but I felt like there's a lot of stuff over here that happened, and I was like, I wasn't good with it.
I think that's one of the biggest strides he's made is just having miss a shot, turnover, defensive mistake, is having that next possession mentality. And I think his growth this year has been really come a long way in that area.
It's so weird. You have so much space. Like, it feels weird on the shot because you're so open.
I believe I can be good in this league. I believe I have the talent.
Hey, watch it, I'm coming through.
And in the future, do great stuff with the Wizards.
Whoa.
Game day with Denny Avdi. We appreciate the access for that. Sticks, I want to come to you with this one real quick, and we'll come to Megan with the same question. Looking at Denny Avdi, of course, over his career, averaging 8 points, 5 boards, but over the last 5 games, 10 points, 7 boards, and we saw him working on the sidelines, getting some of that film study in. How invaluable is that film study when you know that this team is shorthanded right now, and how can Denny take advantage of it?
Well, when you don't have as many bodies to go out there and practice, and you just have game every other day, you have to take that film as your practice because you learn from your film. You see what mistakes you make out there. And every single coach takes a player and you watch the film. It takes a load off of your body. You don't have to go through the contact of a practice. And you get to learn those valuable material of where do I get my shots? What mistakes am I doing out there on the floor? And you can kind of take that and translate it to the floor. If you learn from the film and learn from it well and you do that, those are the players that succeed, and those are the guys that go out there and get more playing time. With Denny, he's doing a great job of getting with his coaches and making sure that he's learning what he's not doing so well, and he's getting better at it. Year by year, he's made progressions. The first year, it was a little bit of a struggle. Second year, he got better, way better defensively. And now, coming off into his third year, he's being more aggressive on the offensive end. This is the stuff that I like to see from Denny, especially a young player. Seeing him play in his international games, I'm like, that's the Denny I want to see.
That dude is nice. We've watched a lot of his footage, Jason. Megan, the same question goes to you, but here's the wrinkle in it, though. What have you noticed been the biggest difference between last season and this season, taking into account the offseason that Denny did have?
It starts with the letter C. Confidence. I think that's the biggest thing. And it's not just the confidence when he's playing well or defending well. It's the confidence in himself when things aren't going his way. When the whistle's not going his way and he's getting frustrated because he's getting called for fouls. When the shot's not falling offensively and he can't get that going. Or when he's being aggressive and the lay-ins just aren't going. Because we've seen from time to time where he's at point-blank range and the bunnies just aren't falling. But it's the confidence from last season to this season with the assistance of having the Euro in the off season and playing through confidence and dealing with that experience as well too. The confidence of just playing through tough stretches and tough situations. And he has said it himself, and we heard it in the sound, and he said it to me when I've asked him about these situations. I have confidence, and I continue to play with confidence because my team needs me to be confident, whether it's going well or not.
A wise man once told me confidence is contagious, so please share it wherever you can. Megan, Jason, don't move. Don't go anywhere, because on the other side, we got Kyle Kuzma in the post-game locker room later on in the show. And, oh, by the way, we're going to take a look back at some of the best bets from the night, see who was right, see who was wrong.
I got my bold prediction right.
Already bragging. Well, let's see what happens when post-game live returns. Welcome back to Wizards Post Game Live. Taking a look at our bold predictions from earlier tonight, brought to you by Greenberg and Betterman. Wednesday night's prediction, Monday's prediction is Jordan Goodwin having the most steals out of anyone on the court. Well, guess what? The crew got it right.
Correct.
2 steals. Tied with Kristaps Porzingis. We call a tie a win. That means 2 people came in first place. Again, brought to you by Greenberg and Betterman. Go to gblawyers.com and feel better. But I want to go back to a play that, frankly, was just fun to watch, right? We like to see defense turn into offense. Jordan Goodwin interrupting the pass. Hustle play on the floor. Denny Avdia saves it. As the first quarter winds down, this dunk didn't count, but by gosh, it was fun to see the landlord holding court right inside. Of course, a big dunk from Daniel Gafford to go along with the 10 boards that he had tonight. Makes me very happy. But let's take a look at our FanDuel best bets of the night, where you can make every moment more. Coming into the night, if you said Denny Avdia was going to hit the first basket, that was at plus 1,200. A $10 bet would have won you $100.
Give me my money.
Kyle Kuzma, if you would have said he was going to make 4 or more threes, that's at plus 280. Which means a $10 bet would have won you $28. I am just flabbergasted at the Denny Avdia one right there. But let's start here with this other question, because it is the proverbial elephant in the room. And Megan, I'm going to start with you on this one. We were missing Bradley Beal tonight. We have finally heard that he is going to be cleared. It's going to be a day-to-day situation. We will be tracking it at NBCSportsWashington.com. But when he comes back, what are we looking to expect out of Brad, especially on that first night back, Megan?
Well, the interesting thing is how his legs are going to feel, because it's extended time off. And, you know, before the game, we asked Coach about it. And right now it's ramping up. They've got to ramp him up to be prepared. So they still have to decide if he will be taking the trip. As of pregame, he was. That could change. That is according to Coach Unseld. So when you think of the fact that he's got to ramp up and then make his return, his legs, that will be the biggest thing for me, especially when you think of the fact, travel, West Coast, could he be returning in Utah when there's elevation involved in that type of thing? It all depends on that. So I think the biggest thing for me is going to be, how are his legs going to feel? How much lift is he going to have in them? Because the hamstrings, you cannot mess around with.
Indeed you can't. Now, Sticks, this is your former teammate we're talking about. You've seen him take injuries. You've seen him go through recovery. You've seen him get back on the court. What's your insider knowledge on just his process of getting back into his groove?
Well, he wants to get back out there, but he doesn't want to go out there, especially with the hamstring, like Megan said. Hamstrings are tricky. It's not like an ankle. You can't just play through it. If you go out there and you try and give it your go and it kind of twinges up on you again, you're back to square one. And that's why we haven't seen DeLon Wright in a long time. So this is not something that you kind of want to mess with. And especially with them going out to the West Coast trip, I would want him to take the trip knowing that he's going to be back out there, maybe middle of the road trip. But like you said, again, Megan, altitude. That takes a toll on you. It makes you tired. Denver is altitude. Utah is altitude. So I want to see what Bradley Beal is like. I would love to see him in the Denver game, but I also don't want him to get hurt even more.
Indeed, we want to make sure we protect him as much as we can, guys. I'm excited about the return of guys coming back into this roster. We got Will back in tonight. I'm looking forward to the return of Monte, Brad, and eventually Rui Hachimura. But right now, I want to remind residents of Maryland that FanDuel is now live in Maryland. You can get $200 on free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. So download the FanDuel app and start making every moment more. Well, of course, if you were at Capital One Arena tonight, you knew that it was Japanese Heritage Night, and the first 10,000 fans in the building were actually able to get a lovely tote bag that we shared earlier in pregame live. But that's not the only thing that has something to do with Japan. Earlier in the season, in the preseason to be exact, the team took a trip over to Japan, and we've got the exclusive behind-the-scenes footage of that exact trip.
What an honor to represent the Washington Wizards, the first 2 preseason games of the NBA in Japan. I think it's just going to be a wonderful bonding experience.
Everyone's excited for the opportunity for Rui as an ambassador to his home country. There's so many things we can take away from it.
Hey, it's Denny Avdia. What's going on? We're almost halfway through the flight, just checking in on everybody, so stick with us.
Thank you.
Man, we got the thrill in Japan. Don't get no bigger.
That's a vibe, though. I like this. Hey, everybody. I'm here with my teammates from up at Tokyo Tower, taking the team photos.
They pulled us up to the wrong address at first. We were gonna go in somebody's crib. We were gonna take pictures of somebody's house. They was gonna be astounded.
Finally, I feel like the team was being talked about this trip, my teammates, coaching, all the stuff, and to see my country, my culture. It's an amazing feeling.
All right, everyone look right here again.
What's up, everybody? It's Bradley Gill here. We're here in Japan. Officially made it. Day 1 practice, but we got a team photo. DC Nation, we love you.
Pictures done. Wish I was a little bit long on the mic, but it's okay. I'll be back soon.
My bodyguards, feel me? You mess with me, you gotta deal with them. And they gonna put hands and feet on you.
Did you like watching me shoot? Any tips? You're good looking, so you're perfect.
No, it's been amazing, you know. I get to show my country to my teammates, you know.
I love the fact that everybody here seems supportive of Rui. He represents us well, he represents this country well. I'm happy to be his teammate.
You know, we're very excited to be here in Japan. It's going to be a very, very special moment, but also got to focus and lock in because it's time for the season.
The first of this 2-game set here in Tokyo between the Wizards and Golden State Warriors.
Everybody's so excited to be here and play fun with these Japanese fans.
Go Wizards!
Thank you so much.
Yeah, look like Kai Kuzma. I'm a big fan of Kai Kuzma. He gave chopsticks.
Build a camaraderie here. We get to bring global NBA games back. What better place to do it than here?
I want to thank our partners at Monumental Sports for that exclusive access on that trip to Japan. But I want to remind people also, we've got a holiday pack of some really cool games that are coming up for you that, you know, have some items that I think you might enjoy. So don't move. We'll have that on the other side, along with the film room and Kyle Kuzma in the post-game locker room.
DC Sports Washington, your home of the Capitals.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and the Washington Wizards have the ultimate stocking stuffer just for you. It's Hoops for Holidays, a 3-game pack with games including the Portland Trail Blazers, the New York Knicks, and the Sacramento Kings. And oh, by the way, the pack includes a Kristaps Porzingis Nutcracker doll, so make sure that you see that QR code on your screen, hold your phone up to it, hit it, and make sure you get yourself 3 great games of NBA action courtesy of the Washington Wizards. But Monumental Sports and Entertainment Foundation's annual Family to Family program, it returned this year to offer support and holiday cheer to local families, partnering with players, coaches, executives, and their families from the Wizards, Mystics, Capitals, and Go-Go. The foundation adopted 34 families along with providing a $25,000 monetary grant to Martha's Table in support of the annual celebration. This year's party took place at the MedStar Health Performance Center in Ward 8, the practice facility for all Monumental basketball teams, all part of the franchise's commitment to the D.C. community. Right now, Jason Smith, let's go inside the film room. Jordan Goodwin always puts a smile on our face.
Let's talk about Mr. Opportunity right here. This is a gutsy call right here. You're guarding a guy in the corner, Seth Curry, a knockdown three-point shooter, but you see that Kevin Durant has a little bit of a loose handle. Takes a gamble, gets the steal, uses his eye and a ball fake, and finishes in transition. That's what you want to see from a guy taking advantage of his opportunity. But right here, it must have been 4 plays in a row where KD thought he could passed Jordan Goodwin. But he gets on the floor for a 50-50 ball. This was at the end of the quarter, and if it would have been just a little bit of a cleaner pass, and oh my gosh, it still counts in my book. That is a poster right there. Energy from the landlord, but it all started with Jordan Goodwin. His energy is infectious out there. He's willing to do the extra stuff, the dirty work, and the stuff that doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheets. But he did a great job tonight with his energy, getting steals, getting loose balls, and making sure that he was giving it all for his team to try and have a chance to win.
2 steals and 7 assists to go along with the 11 points as we take a look at the final score tonight. 112-100. Washington falls to the visiting Brooklyn Nets, now 11-17 on the season. Will Barton led all Wizard scorers with 22 points and 7 dimes. Kyle Kuzma with 20 points and 7 boards. Who is actually in the post-game locker room right now? Mr. Kyle Kuzma.
I mean, we've been playing with great effort. Can't complain about that. That's the one thing that we've been doing. And we've been doing a lot of losing, but we've been playing hard. We've been competing every night, and I'm proud of everybody for that.
How careful do you have to be to avoid what you guys went through last year, to not let that seep in again as these losses kind of start to mount?
It's tough. It's nothing like last year. We're just getting the short end of the stick right now, not closing out games. It's tough. It's really tough, honestly. But we're all optimistic still, for the most part. So.
Is the nothing like last year kind of also referring to the injuries that you guys are dealing with, and just how challenging is that?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like last year if you want to talk about that. I mean, we got a lot of injuries last year, injured this year. We're missing like 5 rotation players right now. So in that regard, it's kind of the same, I guess.
You're missing players, like you said, but where would you say the defensive effort is with this team through this streak that you're going through?
I mean, we've been competing our ass off every single night. Everybody, you see how animated Jordan Goodwin is. He's doing a phenomenal job for us. Just bringing it every single night. And I think we're all feeding off of that. So I can't complain about the defensive effort at all.
What do you think about?
That's Kyle Kuzma in the post-game locker room. Megan, I've got a couple of questions, mainly one about what Kyle said. And he said the effort is there, albeit with the absence of the wins. What do you make of some of his comments in the locker room?
I think everything he said was spot on. And who better to hear it from and to get insight from than a guy who's going through it, who is in the trenches night in, night out, daily, shoot-arounds, practices. If it's not Coach Unseld, the next best person to hear from is the players. And Kyle Kuzma right now is leading the way for this team and dealing with that. So the fact that he can still sit there and say, even in these losses, yes, they're in these games, the energy is there, the effort is there. The defensive effort is there. The fact that he gives Jordan Goodwin praise and says his energy and his determination and will is infectious, and they're feeding off of that right now. The fact that they are still optimistic in that locker room, at the end of the day, that says it all, period.
Indeed. Kyle Kuzma has scored in double digits in the last 11 games for this Washington Wizards team. Again, like he said, they want to win. The effort is there. It's just not adding up into dubs for this team. Megan, don't go too far, because on the other side, we heard from Kyle Kuzma right here. Well, guess what? When we come back, we're going to hear from Kristaps Porzingis, who did leave this game early with back tightness. We are monitoring that situation. We'll hear from the Unicorn on the other side and give you a lot more. Getting ready for a road trip. Post-game live. Welcome back to Post Game Live. The next time you will see our wonderful faces will be on Wednesday night as the Wizards head out west to take on the Denver Nuggets. Pre-game live will start at 8:30 p.m. on NBC Sports Washington. So make sure you are here to join us as we get everything set for this long West Coast road trip. But you see Kristaps Porzingis right there on the screen. Here he is in the post-game locker room explaining how he's going to handle the travel out west, especially with some back tightness.
Yeah, feeling all right. Was doing treatment last quarter of the game when I was out, and it's loosening up a bit. So, yeah, the more time I get, I think the better I'll be.
Are you concerned at all about having to be on a plane for 3.5 hours out to Denver?
Yeah, that definitely will not help. So I have to make sure I have like proper posture, have like some sort of support for my back and stuff. So. To make sure, I avoid all those like sleeping positions that I can get caught in those long flights.
KD, is this something that I assume you're very tall, you're a professional athlete, you've dealt with before regularly at all this season? I think I saw you with the wrap before you even went back to the locker room.
I started feeling the last game. That's when I did it the first time. I had a little bit like back in New York when I was younger. I didn't know how to like work on it and strengthen it, and then I learned that. And honestly, yeah, kind of just maybe a little bit like too much load on my back. Haven't had excuse me, enough like strengthening and stuff. Kind of forgot about it a little bit because it hasn't bothered me, for a very long time. And just I need to get back to that, just strengthening his back and making sure it doesn't allow it to tense up like that again.
How do you lift up a group of guys that's playing hard, just dealing with playing a lot of minutes without a lot of support?
It's not easy, of course. the mood is what it is. But the thing is that we have a good group of guys, like good atmosphere, good chemistry in the locker room, and we play hard for each other. We're just not good enough to win these games, and we're missing a lot of guys, and we're short on bodies. A lot of guys playing a lot of minutes, so we're in a tough moment right now. But hopefully we can, all be healthy very soon, and it's going to be, the team's going to look a lot more fresh, a lot more, with some juice. So I think we're all giving it all out there. It's just not enough.
Six, real quick, you're a 7-footer yourself, so he's got to hop on a plane real quick. Could you just quickly explain the difference in traveling at your size versus my size versus the normal
Well,
person's
it's
size?
a little bit different when you're traveling with an NBA team as well, because they get a little bit more space on those flights, because you have a seat that doesn't have another seat in front of it, so he can stretch his legs out, but you don't want to get caught sleeping on the side. The seat basically goes all the way down. Just a fun fact for you. For the NBA
see, this is
players.
why I'm asking you.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are a little bit spoiled, but I think for him, he can't sleep on those planes. He's got to keep it loose, keep it moving, and don't let it tighten up on you.
Indeed. Megan, real quick, looking forward to Denver. What's the #1 priority for the Wizards if they want to get a win against the Nuggets?
Details. Don't turn the ball over. Plain and simple.
That's what it's all about. Great answer. See, that's what I'm saying. Simple and efficient and effective. Let's get back in the win column. On behalf of our great crew here and staff at NBC Sports Washington, on behalf of Megan McPeak and Jason Smith, I am Wes Hall. I wish you the best evening possible. We look forward to seeing you Wednesday as we take on the Nuggets. Pre-game live will start at 8:30 p.m. on NBC Sports Washington. Until then, be safe, be well, and we'll see you next time.